Pakistan's Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani has rejected criticism of Pakistan's intelligence services for failing to locate Osama bin Laden. Speaking in Paris tonight, Prime Minister Gilani said that ignorance of bin Laden's hideout was the result of an international intelligence failure. Pakistan's foreign minister says the United States was alerted to suspicions about the compound where bin Laden was hiding back in 2009. The response comes after the White House changed its account of the assault, now conceding that Osama bin Laden was unarmed. John Stewart reports.
The US administration's account of what happened during the raid on bin Laden's hiding place has changed. Yesterday, the White House said that bin Laden was armed and had been hiding behind his wife when he was killed. Today it was revealed that bin Laden was not armed when he was shot dead and not using his wife as a human shield.
Bin Laden's wife rushed the US assaulter and was shot in the leg but not killed. Bin Laden was then shot and killed. He was not armed.
The White House said that bin Laden had shown some resistance to being arrested. The CIA chief said there was an option to take bin Laden alive, but the US Navy SEALs were also permitted to kill him.
The authority here was to kill bin Laden, and obviously under their rules of engagement, if he had in fact thrown up his hands, surrendered, and didn't appear to represent any kind of threat, then they were to capture him. But they had full authority to kill him.
Critics say that taking bin Laden alive was a better option.
This man has been subject to summary execution, and what is now appearing, after a good deal of disinformation from the White House, may well have been a cold-blooded assassination. The irony of this is that this is what Osama bin Laden craved. He wanted, the last thing he wanted was to be put on trial.
And while that may now be academic, tensions between America and Pakistan continue to grow, with more questions today being asked about how bin Laden was able to hide in this huge fortress-like building so close to a military base.
It's very hard to believe that some elements of the Pakistani government, whether it's military or intelligence, were not aware of this.
The US claims that bin Laden may have lived in the compound for 5 years. Pakistan's powerful spy agency, the ISI, says it raided the home in 2003 before its huge security walls were built, but they had not checked it since then. America's aid program to Pakistan could be reviewed if it's revealed that Pakistani authorities knew of bin Laden's whereabouts.
I think we have to know whether they knew. If they did, the Pakistanis knew. If they didn't know, why didn't they know?
Today, Pakistan's Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani hit back at his country's critics, calling the decade-long search for bin Laden an international failure.
Certainly, we have intelligence sharing with the rest of the world, including United States. So, if somebody points out that there is some of the lapses from Pakistan's side, that means there's lapses from the whole world.
Today, the CIA director bluntly stated that Pakistani authorities were deliberately kept out of the loop.
We made the decision that we would not inform them, but that we would conduct this operation unilaterally.
And a series of WikiLeaks files casting new light on the fraught relationship between the US and Pakistan may explain why. This week, a London newspaper published details of a December 2009 cable in which the government of Tajikistan warned the United States that corrupt Pakistani spies were deliberately thwarting efforts to catch bin Laden, tipping him off whenever a raid on his hideout was about to take place. Pakistani media are reporting that senior al-Qaeda figures are meeting to decide who will replace bin Laden. The man thought most likely to become the next al-Qaeda leader is Ayman al-Zawahiri. The Egyptian-born surgeon spent 3 years in Egyptian jails before becoming bin Laden's chief strategist and deputy. The FBI has a $25 million bounty on Zawahiri's head and is hoping that new information seized from computers in bin Laden's compound will help track him down. John Stewart, Late Line.